What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Newbark News gaming podcast for November 9th, 2019. We'll be covering all of this week's biggest gaming news, so sit back, grab yourself a hot beverage, and let us at Newbark Network spruce up your weekend morning. Diving right into one of my biggest pet peeves of modern gaming, mandatory online subscriptions, it turns out that if you keep your eyes peeled, you can snag a hefty discount on yearly PS Plus cards. GameSpot reports that you can snag a physical one-year membership card for just $38.99. And at the time of this recording, the eBay listing that this GameSpot article points to states that 137,947 of these puppies have been sold, with a limited quantity remaining. So if you are shackled into renewing paid online subscriptions, it looks like you'd better hop in this deal quick, as something of note is that these yearly PS Plus memberships never drop that low in price. Even on Black Friday, they don't drop below $40 when sold from more official vendors. Speaking of Black Friday, one of my favorite holidays, thanks capitalism, Forbes reports that Best Buy ads have been found online that detail some specifics on their gaming discounts, such as console bundles, accessories, video game discounts in every price bracket, some of which are upwards of $30 off of the initial MSRP. There are a few discounts of note, mainly the 1TB PS4 Slim, bundled with The Last of Us, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn, all for just $199. That's $100 off the normal price for the console, plus these hard-hitting games. The next bundle of note is the PSVR bundle, for a reported $100 off. Now, details are a bit more scarce for this one, as evidently there are multiple PSVR bundles, but they seem to include all of the PSVR necessities minus the console, as well as games. So if you've been holding off on console VR, now seems like a great time to jump in. If you have the means, I certainly recommend it. It's a great experience overall, and if you ask me, Super Hot VR is enough of a sell. For the game discounts, ones of note are the hard hitters being marked down to just $10. Those being God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, The Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted the Nathan Drake Collection, and Uncharted 4 A Thief's End. For $10 a pop, you'd have to be insane not to grab them all. Best Buy's Nintendo Switch Black Friday deals aren't too shabby themselves. There, you can grab a pair of Joy-Cons for $20 off and a myriad of Switch hard-hitting games for just $40 each. This includes Octopath Traveler, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Mario Tennis Aces, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Party. Other notable games discounted are Final Fantasy X and X-2 Switch Remaster, Final Fantasy XII Remaster, and Nin no Kuni for $25 each. Moving on to some Target Black Friday deals, you can grab Borderlands 3 and Monster Hunter Iceborne for just $35 each, and grab Nintendo Switch hard hitters like Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Mario Tennis Aces for just $29.99 each. This, along with other price cuts, are going to be the reason I'll be keeping my eyes peeled on Black Friday. For those of you unfortunate souls who haven't yet experienced the glory that is the Nintendo Switch, there are a few deals on that as well. It doesn't sound like much, but for $299.99, you can grab a Nintendo Switch and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, like I said, it doesn't sound like much, but when you consider the fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still being sold for around $60 at most places, it's really not all that bad. Also of note about this bundle is that the listing has different box art for the console, so it's unknown if this will be sold as one of the new revised Nintendo Switches with the slightly improved battery and processor. I believe that this is simply a case of a lazy worker just haphazardly slapping the first PNG of Switch box art they could get onto the ad, but it is possible that this Black Friday deal may be a way for Target to flush out their inventory of older Switch units. Of course, there are many other Black Friday gaming deals from these vendors, and I encourage you all to check out the source links in the description because it's quite possible that the thing you've been keeping your eye on for a while will have its price slashed. I'm hoping for more ad leaks here. One thing Nintendo never hopes for are leaks. Recently, Pokemon Sword and Shield had a pack of leaks surface last week on November 2nd, where they stayed for around a couple days before developers took action to take them down. These leaks included things like new Pokemon and story elements. The strong measures used to try and remove leak-related posts suggest that these leaks were indeed genuine. Of course, it's likely that this was just a case of Nintendo being Nintendo, but who knows? Images that were taken down have been replaced with the message, quote, "Media not displayed. This image has been removed in response to a report from the copyright holder," unquote. Nintendo has even went so far as to remove some of these images from Imgur, a place leakers used in a vain attempt to host these images in a more secluded locale. Even content creators on YouTube are at risk for copyright strikes for simply covering these leaks. Wait a second, aren't we a content creator covering these? After a prominent Pokemon YouTuber was hit with a copyright strike, other YouTubers who'd covered these leaks had begun to remove their videos in fear of receiving a copyright strike themselves. Now, these leaks have already bled into the Pokemon community. However, Nintendo is still trying to keep a tight lid on the games as their November 15th release date approaches. In fact, the Japanese launch event for the games, which would have featured Junichi Masuda, the lead designer, and Shigeru Aomori, the game's director, was cancelled by Nintendo, citing, quote, "operational reasons," unquote. Many fans still have a bad taste in their mouths from when it was revealed that these new Pokemon games would lack a national Pokédex, something highly uncharacteristic of the mainline series games. The new Pokemon launch event is not the only one to be cancelled recently. Blizzard recently cancelled a Nintendo Switch Overwatch launch event in New York. No official reason was given by Blizzard. However, it isn't hard to piece together that it was likely due to the backlash they've been receiving due to the actions it has taken against competitive Hearthstone player Blitzchung, after he had voiced his support for the ongoing civil protests in Hong Kong. For those who are not aware of this and how vast its implications actually are, please find some articles on the subject. It's important to be versed in these sorts of matters, especially in these times. Getting back to more gaming-centric news, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Update 6 was released Wednesday, November 6th, and features the arrival of Terry Bogard. Terry Bogard! Remember him? I don't. Terry brings Smash Ultimate representation from King of Fighters, and brings with him 50 new tracks and a ton of unique fighting aspects. Evidently, the character Mai was said to be included. However, it was revealed that she would not be included after all. Sakurai had this to say on the matter, quote, "Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is good for boys and girls of many different ages, so we decided not to feature her. Please forgive us," unquote. Mai is literally too hot to handle with her figure and clothing. Anyway, I was actually playing against a CPU Terry earlier when I got the Smash Bros. Update, and he does have a lot of surprises, and I can't wait to get my butt kicked online by players who made him. Other recent Switch DLC is for Fire Emblem 3 Houses, in which Anna is now able to be recruited, a sauna activity and minigame has been added, if there are people out there who actually like saunas. Animals can be interacted with now, meaning you can play with dogs, something I never thought I'd see in a Fire Emblem game. There are maid and butler-based battalions, and DLC 3 and 4 can be purchased together for $25. Oh, and there are new character outfits, because of course there are. Death Stranding, aka Hideo Kojima's Hollywood acid trip, has decisive reviews ranging from 40% to 100% by multiple credible sources. The game is supposedly heavy on hyperrealism, with gameplay focused on balancing backpacks and a lot of walking and route planning. One source claims that this game takes 10 hours to really get moving, and I'm of the mindset that video games are primarily experiences. So if Hideo Kojima wants to deliver a cinematic experience, that can really draw you in, even if it does take a while, I believe that that's a thing to be admired in this sense. Even IGN's own review team had inconsistent feelings towards the game. Curiosity about the world is a driving theme behind it, and it is a very cutscene-heavy piece, featuring strong theming and lessons to be had. As for the PC release of this game, the Epic Game Store and Steam pre-orders are open with an expected release date of summer 2020. Also of note with this piece of news is that Hideo Kojima wants to make films, saying that, quote, "If a person can do one thing well, they should be able to do anything well," unquote. Kojima theorizes that we are only 3 to 4 years away from game streaming being treated the same way that movie streaming and music streaming are being treated nowadays. Considering how long the cutscenes in Kojima's games have been and how much he loves movies, it might seem odd that he hasn't already made a motion picture already. Noting Kojima's past games, it would not surprise me if he were to release a major blockbuster hit in the coming years. In other news, Microsoft's X019 London event will be held next week, Thursday, November 14th through Saturday, November 16th. There, attendees will get to try a myriad of notable games that aren't yet available to the public. Some of the notable games we've yet to play are Minecraft Dungeons, Bleeding Edge, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the new Battletoads, Halo Master Chief Collection, and Gears of War 5. Last year, the acquisition of Obsidian Entertainment and Inxile Entertainment was announced by Microsoft, and this could mean really big stuff as Microsoft already has a ton of companies under its belt, and they are not afraid to puff their chest right now. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows for Microsoft, as the Master Chief Collection on PC still has a lot of kinks to be worked out, and an official statement from developers said that it will be ready when it is ready. Yeah, so they never committed to a firm release schedule. However, Reach is likely to be the first out this year and is currently in beta, along with, well, hopefully the rest of the Master Chief Collection. Those interested can join the Halo Insider program for a chance to participate in the ongoing beta testing. Other games will follow a similar beta test phase before their individual releases. On the other side of the aisle, Sony changes up its leadership. Herman Hulst, the founder of Guerrilla Games, becomes head of Worldwide Studios. This accounts for 14 internal studios. A quote from the company says that, quote, "Hulst will start his new role immediately and manage all of Sony's game development across 14 internal studios, including the likes of Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Sucker Punch, and Santa Monica," unquote. Recall, Guerrilla created the Decima engine and worked closely with Kojima. Worldwide Studios president Shuhei Yoshida is moved to third-party relations and nurturing independent studios. Now, this is largely a return to start with the PS4, as early on, the PS4 was one of the first platforms of its generation to embrace indie games as a whole and incorporate them into their higher lineups. It is also of note that the former Worldwide Studios president Sean Layden left the company not too long ago, after 32 years of his stay there. Now here's some news that's really gotten me excited. Casey Hudson, the director of the original Mass Effect trilogy, has been posting pictures of environments reminiscent of the first trilogy of Mass Effect, potentially teasing a remaster of the original 3 Mass Effect games. Hudson says there were a number of stories, ideas, and worlds they never got to explore. And after the mess of Mass Effect Andromeda, this could be pointing to a rework of previous titles. Personally, this is something that I would really like to see. As a fan of the third and only the third Mass Effect game, because I haven't played the other two, I would love to get a chance to experience an expanded trilogy of these original games. Mass Effect's unique way of storytelling and immersive gameplay is really a huge hook that just left me on my couch for hours upon end. Like, no wonder I thought the game was so short. I basically didn't stop playing it until I beat it. PlayStation Plus free games for November 5th through December 3rd, 2019 are Nioh, or Nioh, Nioh, and Outlast 2. The free Xbox games with gold for November 2019 are Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter, available November 1st through November 30th for the Xbox One. The Final Station, available November 16th through December 15th on Xbox One. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, available November 1st through November 15th, originally released for the Xbox Original. And Joyride Turbo, available November 16th through November 30th, originally released for the Xbox 360. And that's it for this week, guys. As always, constructive criticism is essential for us, as Newbark Network is still a budding group here. So feel free to leave some in the comments, or for listeners on other platforms, you can just chat with us at our email, newbarknetwork@gmail.com, because above all, we want to leave you satisfied. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next week.